What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down one of the most powerful tools in day trading, known as order flow. If you've ever felt like price moves randomly or that you're always a step behind, this video is going to change that. Plus, I'll walk you through 3 live trades I have taken using this exact strategy so you can see it in action. So first off, what is order flow? Order flow is simply the study of real-time buying and selling pressure. Instead of just reacting to price, you're analyzing why price is moving. It gives you an inside look into where large participants are placing their orders, whether they're trying to accumulate, dump, or defend a level. So we are seeing in real time where buyers and sellers are. We're able to focus on the intent behind price movement, and it helps us identify support and resistance zones before they form. So when reading order flow, I personally use Bookmap. Bookmap, in my opinion, is one of the best tools to visualize this kind of data. The heat map shows you liquidity zones where large limit orders are sitting in the market, as well as market orders and actual buying and selling activity happening at that very second. You're literally watching the battle between buyers and sellers unfold in real time. Now, looking at Bookmap, there's a few key features that I want to point out that help me identify high probability trades. And the first and the most important is going to be the heat map feature. So what the heat map shows us is the overall buying and selling activity at exact levels within the market. So if we look to the right, this is every point on the S&P futures. But then using the heat map, that's telling us how much buying or selling activity is happening at that exact level. Now, in order to read the heat map, if we look up here at this color scale, we can see that we have dark blue into blue, light blue, white, yellow, orange, red, and dark red. The further to the left on this color scale, the least amount of orders. The further to the right on this color scale, the more amount of orders. So if we start to notice shading with red and dark red and even orange, that's telling us that there is a lot of activity going on at this specific level. Even down here, there's still a lot of activity, but overall there's a lot of orders up at this area, and we can tell by the red and the dark red shading. And what these shaded areas are is these are limit orders within the market. So a limit order is somebody putting an order into the market saying that they are only willing to buy or sell at that specific price. Now, how do we understand if these are buy limit orders or sell limit orders in the market? Well, this white line right here is current price. If the shading is above current price, those are sell orders. If the shading is below current price, those are buy limit orders. So if we're looking at this chart right now, yes, we have a good amount of buy orders below current price, but we have a lot of sell limit orders above current price. So again, the heat map is a very easy way to visually see if buyers or sellers are participating at a key level. But also we have our market orders, which are going to be these bubbles right here. Market orders are aggressive buyers or sellers who are willing to get in right now at any given price. So in order for these limit orders to be taken out in the market, there has to be more market orders at that area to push price through it. If there is not enough market orders at this area and we have more passive sellers sitting there, this area is going to act as resistance and price is likely going to pull back. The same can be said for these buy orders down here. If there's not enough aggressive sellers to push price through these limit buy orders, price is likely going to make this area support and start making its way back up. So to me, these shaded areas are the most important areas to watch, especially because I'm a big fan of trading supply and demand, as well as Fibonacci retracements. So when price does trade to those areas, I can visually see are buyers or sellers willing to participate at my key level. Now, there is also something known as iceberg orders, which are hidden orders within the market, and Bookmap can help you see where those hidden orders are through utilizing a tool known as stops and icebergs. So if you ever join my live trading sessions, whether it be on Zoom or here on YouTube, you are always going to see Bookmap up on my screen because in my honest opinion, this is one of the most powerful tools that you can use. And that's not me just saying that because I'm affiliated with them. I would not be affiliated with them if I did not think that this platform was useful, but it honestly plays a role in about 95% of the trades that I take. And again, you guys see that every single day when I'm live trading. So if you do want to check out Bookmap, I will be leaving my affiliate link in the description. If you do decide to sign up, make sure that you do get Global Plus as well as Bookmap data and CME data. That way you can set your chart up just like mine. But as previously discussed, what I mainly focus on when I am trading using order flow and with Bookmap is I'm focusing a lot on the heat map, especially when we're trading at areas of supply and demand or Fibonacci retracements, market orders when we are trading into those levels to see if we actually break through them or if we hold the area, spoofing and order pulling, just because institutions sometimes they will put large orders at specific levels, but you can visually see with Bookmap when they pull those areas, because we would see a large shaded area like we do right here. And if all of a sudden it just disappears and price is still trading down here, that means they pulled their orders from the market, which is a sign that price is likely going to break through that level. And then finally, as we discussed, the iceberg orders, the hidden orders, as well as absorption at those levels of large liquidity. So now my order flow strategy. My personal strategy is simple. I identify key levels within the market, such as supply and demand, Fibonacci retracements, so areas with heavy liquidity, and then I wait for a reaction. Do we see buyers absorbing the selling? Is there aggressive buying going into a resistance zone? Then I either join the momentum if it's breaking out with aggression, or I fade the move if there's strong absorption. So enough theory. Let's get into real trades. I'm going to walk you through 3 trades I took using Bookmap's order flow. I will break down what I saw, why I entered, and how the order flow confirmed the move. So let's hop into the first trade. All right, so starting off on the first trade where I combined a key level within the market as well as order flow to catch a profitable trade. On this trade, what I was looking for was we had this pre-market high right here on the NASDAQ futures. As we can see, price broke above this level with strength and did not come back and retest it. So usually that is a setup that I like to look for, a break and retest of pre-market highs to look potentially to go long. But also at the same time, we had this potential imbalance in the market. So because of that, I was watching this entire 21840 down to 21824 for a potential long entry. Now, what I was looking for was for price to pull back to this area, make it support, but then what I also wanted to see was buyers come in at that area to confirm to me that this is actually a valid long entry. If there was no buyers, I would not have taken this trade. And again, these trades are taken live every single day inside the Zoom in the Discord, and I also periodically live trade here on YouTube. So now looking at the order flow as the NASDAQ starts to dip down into my overall buy area, we can see that we start to get a lot of large buy orders sitting down within this area. So they started 21835, 21830, but then as we get a little lower towards like this 21827 to 21820, we can see that we have a lot of buy orders down at this area, which again can act as an area of support. So as we dip down into this level and I start to notice that price gets bought up, I enter my position. I was willing to add more if we dipped a little lower towards this area right here. And I was able to capture a 30-point move to the upside on the NASDAQ futures. Now, I know that's not an amazing move, but 30 points is 30 points. The order flow was there at the key level, and it's set up for a very high probability trade. So again, as we start dipping down into the area, I want you to notice all these buy orders right here. It's a very strong area of support, and we can visually see that the buyers are participating at this key level. At the same time, there was literally no sell orders above, which is also another confirmation that price is likely going to reverse. So as soon as we started dipping down into the level and I noticed this and price started to get bought back up, that is when I entered long and was able to capture this move up right there. And another thing I want to point out is as we came down into those buy orders right there and price started to bounce, I want you guys to notice that buyers also came in and put their buy orders higher as price started to bounce, which is a very bullish sign that buyers are willing to buy higher than previously, as we can see down here. So that was a very beautiful trade. Again, 30 points on the NQ futures, was able to get my trims and then stopped out the rest at break even. So now let's hop into trade number 2. So for this trade, this ended up being a demand bounce that I was watching. This was actually a very beautiful trade. So for this trade, this 59.81 was a 45-minute demand area. So I wanted to see if buyers came in and supported at this level. We can see that with the order flow, as we start to dip down into that 59.81 all the way down to 59.75, there is a lot of buy orders down at this area. Again, we have a key level within the market, and we can visually see that buyers are participating at this area. If there was no buy orders at this level, this trade would not even be on my radar. But the fact that there was buyers at my key level, I was then looking for confirmation in the price action to get long with a stop right below 59.75. So now as we see, we dip down into it. There's a lot of buy orders down at this area. Now, I personally did not enter right here. I really wish I did, but I want you guys to notice they keep trying to push price down. Buyers are absorbing the sellers. There's a lot of buy orders down at this level, and price starts to bounce back up. So right now, I was still watching price action because we do have sellers right here, but overall, those buyers are still holding that level, even with the attempt of sellers to push price lower. So now what I was watching for my long entry, again, we bounced off the demand area. We reclaimed that 59.81. What I was watching was as price pushed back up, I started to notice that buyers move their buy orders higher, which again is a very bullish sign. So because we just bounced off of that demand area with a lot of buyers, and I noticed that buyers then pushed their buy orders higher, that is when I entered long with my stop right below this low. And as we can see, price starts to then push higher off of that level. And we can see off of that demand area, as well as the buyers pushing their buy orders higher, price had a very nice rally to the upside. So again, that is another scenario how I combine a key level within the market with order flow to identify a high probability trade. I do want to say, if you guys want to trade live with me every single day, come join the Discord. I will be leaving a link down in the description. I trade live every single day in Zoom. You get real-time alerts. You get to watch my screen in real time. Or if you want to try out live trading with me, I do live trade here on YouTube periodically, but there is about a 20 to 30 second delay. So you're going to be getting delayed alerts. Makes more sense to just come join the Zoom. So again, the link will be down in the description. And then here's the third and final trade. This was a supply reject, a 45-minute supply. And this was actually like a very beautifully executed trade. And again, order flow had a huge role in this trade. So for this trade, I was watching the S&P futures for a reject at this 45-minute supply, ideally from 6045.5 to 6048. Typically, what I like to see when we trade into areas of supply and demand is a big move into it. Reason being, it increases the likelihood that the market's going to pull back. But as we started trading up into this supply zone, I like to watch the S&P futures as well as NASDAQ futures to get a really good understanding on what's going to happen. But what I started to notice was the NASDAQ, which was also trading up near a supply zone, had a lot of large sell orders sitting up from this area around like 21930 all the way up to 21950. I believe the supply zone was like somewhere up here. So we had some earlier large sell orders sitting here. And again, the S&P was nearing the supply zone. So as I started to notice that, I ended up starting my position a very, very small size with the anticipation of adding more if the NASDAQ futures were able to get into the supply zone and actually start to reject. So I end up starting my position, I believe, on this candle right here. Again, large sell orders on the NASDAQ. The S&P is trading near the supply zone. So this is showing me that we could potentially reject early, which is why I wanted to start my position. So again, we have that sellers at that level. We consolidate in this area for a little bit. We do get like a slight pullback. I think it was like 4 or 5 points. It wasn't anything crazy. But what you'll notice is price ends up breaking through high of day. Now, a lot of people would stop out on this candle. A lot of people would actually be scared to short it. But notice what happened when we hit the very beginning of this zone on the S&P. So this is like the lower wick, which is like a higher risk area for a reject. But this is the open of the body, which is ideally what I like to see. So we had the sell orders on the S&P, again, potentially people going short early. But we had a lot of sellers sitting here at 60.50. As we can see, 326 sell orders. Now, what I want you guys to notice is that these buyers are getting absorbed at the level. Also, at the same time, the beginning of the NASDAQ futures for the supply zone was right at this 21980 level. So we can see again that we have large sell orders on the NASDAQ futures at the supply zone, not a lot of buyers at all holding price up. And again, the S&P is now trading at the beginning of the supply zone, and we had large sell orders sitting at 60.50. So as this candle came back down, I want you guys to look at this 2-minute time frame right here. On the 2-minute time frame, first off, the 5-minute is breaking back down below 60.50 every time they try to pop it up. The sellers sell it back down. But as I drop it down to a 2-minute time frame, you will notice that this candle right here, look at the volume elevation, the rejection off of 60.50. We came back down and we closed back down below the area with huge volume, which again is telling me that a lot of sell orders are being hit and the sellers are now active at this supply zone. So as we started rejecting and coming down, that is when I got full size on this trade with a stop above 60.50 on the S&P. So I was risking like 3 or 4 points on this trade. And again, the order flow at the key level was a very clear sign that this was a high probability trade. Also on the NASDAQ futures, again, you can see we rejected that level to a T. Now I want you guys to notice what ends up happening on this trade. First off, we reject off of that supply zone. We come down. What do we notice? The sellers are now willing to sell even lower, which is bearish and more confirmation that this thing wants to pull back. Now, if we keep watching, as we can see, we start to pull back. We have a very nice average on this trade. We take out this previous low. Obviously, I'm trimming into the weakness. But then as we start to get this big drop on the S&P futures, that is when I fully exit my position, as you guys are going to see right here as we start breaking down. Very quick and aggressive flush to the downside. So for this trade, it was about an 18-point move to the downside from my average. So overall, 3 beautiful trades by using basic key levels within the market of supply and demand, and then confirming those key levels with order flow to set up for a high probability trade. To wrap it up, order flow gives you context behind price action. Bookmap allows you to see what most retail traders will never see. If you can combine it with your market structure and price action knowledge, you'll be able to identify high probability trades and not just randomly guessing. If you want to dive deeper, check the links in the description for mentorship or tools that I personally use. And if you did find value in today's video, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.